मेरा जो एक्सपीरियंस रहा है लंदन हीथ्रो एयरपोर्ट का वो अच्छा नहीं रहा क्योंकि वहाँ पर लंबी कतारें थी और सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग का बिल्कुल भी पालन नहीं हो पा रहा था।
There were no facilities for keeping your place if you needed to use the toilet facilities. There was no signage on the floor to encourage you to socially distance.
At the end of this long waiting 4-hour queue, we were met by only 4 officials that were checking the documents.
मेरा जो एक्सपीरियंस रहा है लंदन हीथ्रो एयरपोर्ट का वो अच्छा नहीं रहा क्योंकि वहाँ पर लंबी कतारें थी और सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग का बिल्कुल भी पालन नहीं हो पा रहा था। मैं मानता हूँ कि स्टाफ कम था और जो इसका असर है वो उनके चेहरों पर दिख भी रहा था। मैं बस इतना कहना चाहूँगा कि लंदन हीथ्रो मैनेजमेंट को इस बारे में कुछ करना चाहिए।
I was returning from Poland on Sunday night where I had been with my father, who's very sick with cancer. When I first came through off the aircraft, I was shocked and surprised at the enormous queues that greeted me and the amount of people in one place in the hall as we tried to clear immigration in Terminal 2. There were no facilities for keeping your place if you needed to use the toilet facilities. There was no signage on the floor to encourage you to socially distance. There was no signage or assistance provided to ensure that we all had the various necessary paperwork in place before we reached immigration to actually enable us to clear immigration. And there was a lot of confused people who didn't realise what the requirements were because they're not that easy to find on the website. Whilst there were some staff who were very kind enough to provide water, this unfortunately just exasperated the issue of toilet facilities. There was a lot of airport staff standing around and not really providing information or assistance to passengers. The border control staff, whilst were limited, they were trying really their best, but you could see that they were clearly stretched. And one of the officers did actually tell me she'd only just come back from a 6-week stint of being off with sickness with COVID, and she had said there was actually a lot of the staff, border control staff, off with COVID. I think my biggest concern was the fact that this environment just created for me a breeding ground for me to be exposed to COVID, especially as we were all in the same environment and mingling with people who were coming from the red zone countries.
I flew into Heathrow from Warsaw Chopin Airport on LO 279, Polish Airlines. Flight that touched down 5:20. I was one of the first passengers to leave the plane, and the exit of the gate was located right centrally facing the border control checks. Already approaching the border control hall, I saw a huge number of people there. At the end of this long waiting 4-hour queue, we were met by only 4 officials that were checking the documents. That was such a contrast, a huge number of people and only 4 people there. The documents we were to present were just 3, the negative COVID test result, the passenger locator form, and invoice for day 2 and day 8 tests. After that, we were directed to the passport control. That was it. It was a very short experience. It could have been easily a less annoying experience, a less downgrading experience, a less humiliating experience. We had no water, no food. I mean, nobody cared about food anyway, and no battery to contact the family in the phone. No information how long this whole experience was going to last. Luckily, no luggage was missing. People from different parts of Europe got mixed. That makes us ask questions. What's the purpose of self-isolation if you could have probably contracted the COVID at the airport?